some injury updates, injury news. Ryan got cleared. I think you guys were just discussing, like, I guess, if you guys are going to throw her in the fire or not. I guess first, how exciting that that she's cleared and able to contribute, especially on that left wing.
Yeah, we're excited. We have Alexa and Ryan actually cleared to go. But it's a progression for us, and that's what we're trying to figure out. They're excited, but are they game ready? And that's something to be determined. But maybe if it's not tomorrow, we'll be the next day, and we'll see how it goes. But our players that have been playing and stepping up in those positions have done a great job. They've improved over the last few games, and I think we have good depth there right now. And when we get them back, we'll just be that much stronger.
What does it kind of mean for you to kind of kick off the Palmetto series?
Well, it seems like we do that often, and we're excited about it. It's such a good matchup. The teams, especially in the last several years, have been top teams in the country. So it's a great representation of the state, of the country, of a huge rivalry game, and glad again to be home against Clemson.
You guys have won the last two meetings against Clemson. I guess, is it just a rivalry that kind of brings out maybe the best in this team, or I guess, what is it when you guys see that orange and white over there?
Well, I think it means a lot to both teams. It means a lot to the schools. We're going to take pride in our play, whoever we're playing against. But to come out against Clemson, we're definitely ready. It's maybe more emotions to start. Those have to be calmed down and settled. I think our team's done a good job of that the last few years. So we've got to match the intensity, but we've also got to have to play out of it. And that's what we know going into Clemson. We don't put necessarily more of an emphasis on just this game. It's not the point. The point is that we want to be ready and play our best game when we do match up with our rival.
How have you thought about your defense without Grace? How do you think they've done?
I think they've done a tremendous job. We've limited, obviously, opponents to goals, but we've also been able to stifle a lot of attack, protect our goalkeepers. I think Tatum is an excellent defender who's filled in such a key role that Grace is leaving, and she did this for us last year. She was ready to step in and do it again this year, so we'll look forward to getting her back out wide, but she's done an amazing job. Jackie's come back after a year starting as a freshman. The previous year came back as a sophomore, stepped right in, and we have freshmen that's been challenging the returning players well in the back, and then obviously Michaela in goal is it's been nice to come back and have the leadership that she's brought to the table. It keeps things organized no matter who goes into the back.
Coach, how are you handling all the, I guess you could say, turnover on your roster in the year? I know you were prepared for Grace even. Now someone gets the call, of course you get Ryan, Alexa cleared. I guess how you just kind of shuffling the roster and opportunity for players to get some time, some experience out there too.
Yeah, I think it's a challenge, but that's part of our job. I think we prepare for something like this. We tell the players they all have to be ready. We have a large roster, but we always tell them you're one injury away from playing many more minutes the next game than they did the day before, so they have to be prepared and ready to go. I think that we have good depth. There will be players that are a bit stronger in positions, have a bit more experience, but the young players have stepped in and really, the more experience we can get them in the non-conference, we try so that we're really ready to go when we hit conference play.
Speaking of turnover, the school year is about to turn over, classes start tomorrow. How are you kind of keeping the girls focused on one thing at a time as classes begin?
Well, it's been nice to not have classes to worry about for sure. But it's just part of what they have to deal with in college athletics, and they've had time to acclimate to the school, to the routine, and now we keep them on a pretty set standard of this is what your week looks like, and they'll get used to it. And I think we have a lot of support systems in place here, and the older players give the younger players some advice, and so I think everyone's helping everyone, and when they use that support system, they succeed.
What do you like, I guess, what did you like in that second half of your last game? As far as offensively, I know defense is going to be a strong suit. Do you kind of feel that maybe even those 2 goals in the second half, this team is kind of beginning to, get that offensive rhythm down? Yeah,
I think the second half against Charleston, we looked the best we had. Despite who we were playing against, I thought that the group we had out there was excellent, probably the strongest combination. And we showed some composure, which we were lacking. And we also had new players that stepped up and played to their abilities instead of having the nerves and turning the ball over and having to do the extra work because we couldn't keep the ball. So that's going to come, and we expect that with such a new group. You think about our starting lineup, there's really 3 returning from last year that were on the field in our last game. So at this point, you know, we're going to have some growing pains, but I've already seen that the development of the team has been tremendous over just the few games that we've had.
I guess I'm curious, are you guys going to throw like Ryan and Alexa into the fire, or just kind of ease them back in over these next couple games?
Well, when they're ready, we'll be ready. We have to be smart. We're not going to put them in danger out there. We need to make sure they're ready, not just physically, but mentally. And you know, you can't back out of things if you go in. So we're going to make sure we know their status, and they want to play, they're ready to play, then we'll give them a shot. And so when that comes, we'll see.
As far as growing pains is concerned, do you consider, you know, are you one of those coaches who kind of thinks, you know, my team's on schedule right now, behind schedule, ahead of schedule as far as development?
I think we're probably about right for what we thought for this team, to have a whole new group. And again, to, you know, say a young team, and most of our players are sophomore and freshmen. You know, we've got a good upperclassmen group, but 1 senior and some juniors out there. It's not a lot of experience, but I feel that the teams that were ready on day 1 of preseason, it's very few, but those were when we had the most seniors and the most returning players from the year before. So I feel this kind of year, we knew we needed some experience playing against opponents to really get ready. And I think this first weekend was a good to build on. And I believe that you know, we won't be the team tomorrow against Clemson that we will be in a few weeks, but we need to be as ready as we can when we face them. We know it will be a good challenge.